Shalom. First and foremost, I to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shemiah Shai. Want to give double honors to the apostles of great person who do rule well. Salutation to the men of the Hope Land Saints elect. This is your brother Marcus out here in Trinidad. I just want to do a little edification for the elect's sake. And this would be basically a part 2 to the lesson that I did, I think it was yesterday, where he came to fulfill. This is just another installment of, he came to fulfill, as Luke 24:44 says, came to fulfill the things written in the book of Moses and in the law and in the Psalms and the prophets and in the Psalms concerning him. All right, and yesterday, I did basically the lesson based off of the Passover, showing that the Passover basically symbolically represented, what Yahweh Shai would be coming to do, to bring Israel back onto the Most High, and also, to deliver us from the corruption of this world so that we could escape, the second death which is to come, which, hey, we close to that time. Lord's willing, this year, 2025, could be the beginning of that great end. All right. But this second video, all right, basically going into the scapegoat, all right, showing you how Yahweh Shai, when he died, fulfilled the law of the scapegoat. Because with the scapegoat, everybody would talk about the scapegoat. You hear everybody talk about the scapegoat. You see on the internet, they talk about the scapegoat. But there were two goats, all right? There were two goats. There were one sacrificed and one released into the wilderness, which was the scapegoat, all right? So I just want to get straight into it. This is Leviticus chapter 16 and verse 5. Let's go straight to the point. It says, "And he shall take of the congregation of the children of Israel 2 kids of the goats for a sin offering, and 1 ram for a burnt offering." All right. "And Aaron shall offer his bullock for a sin offering, which is for himself, and make an atonement for himself and for his house. And he shall take the 2 goats and present them before the Lord at the door of the tabernacle. And Aaron shall cast lots upon the 2 goats, 1 lot for the Lord, and the other lot for the scapegoat. And Aaron shall bring the goat upon which the Lord's lot fell, and offer him for a sin offering. But the goat on which the lot of the scapegoat shall be presented alive before the Lord, to make an atonement with him, and to let him go for a scapegoat into the wilderness." So this would have happened during the time of, the Day of Atonement, all right, where you will make sacrifice, as he said, sacrifice for himself first and then for the people, all right? But Yahweh Shai did this once, as the scripture says, all right? So the scapegoat would have been released, all right, and the one that the Lord lot fell on would have been sacrificed. All right, that would have been sacrificed. All right. Jumping down to verse 20, it says, "And when he had made an end of reconciling the holy place and the tabernacle of the congregation and the altar, he shall bring the goat, he shall bring the live goat, and Aaron shall lay both his hands upon the head of the live goat, and confess over him all the iniquity of the children of Israel, and all the transgressions in all their sins, putting them upon the head of the goat, and shall send him away by the hand of a fit man into the wilderness. And the goat shall bear upon him all their iniquities into a land not inhabited, and he shall let the goat into the wilderness. And Aaron shall come into the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall put off his linen garment, which he put on when he went into the holy place, and shall leave them there. And he shall wash his flesh with water in the holy place, and put on his garments, and come forth and offer his burnt offering and the burnt offering of the people, which is the second goat, and make an atonement for himself and for the people. And the fat of the sin offering shall be burnt upon the altar, and he shall let the goat for the scapegoat, and And he that let the goat for the scapegoat shall wash his clothes and bathe his flesh in water, and afterward come into the camp. All right. So all this would have been taking place outside of the camp, where they sacrifice, the offering. And as he said, two would have been taken, one for the people, and one would have bear the sin of the people and let go into the wilderness, which is the scapegoat. All right. But how did Yahushua fulfill this? All right. Let's go to the book of Matthew to show how Yahushua fulfilled Leviticus 26 with the scapegoat. This is Matthew 27 and 15. Now at that feast, the governor was wont to release unto the people a prisoner, whom they would. And they that had then a notable prisoner called Barabbas. Therefore, when they were gathered together, Pilate said unto them, Whom will ye that I release unto you, Barabbas or Yahushua, which is called Mashiach? For he knew that for envy they had delivered him. It says, when he had set down the judgment seat, his wife sent unto him, saying, Have thou nothing to do with that just man? It says, For I have suffered many things this day in a dream because of him. But the chief priests and elders persuaded the multitude that they should ask Barabbas and destroy Yahushua. All right, two were taken. All right, Yahushua and Barabbas. All right, it said, and the governor answered and said unto them, Whether of the twain will ye that I release unto you? And they said, Barabbas. And this come like, when Aaron would have been cast in the lots for the two goats. All right, and the lot fell on would have been sacrificed. And guess what? Yahushua was the one sacrificed for the sin of the people. All right, and as we continue reading, you will see the other release was Barabbas. So, really Barabbas would have been the scapegoat, the one that released. All right, but Yahushua, he is the one that, that was sacrificed for the sin of the people. All right, so the whole incident with the scapegoat, basically, Yahushua fulfilled it when he died. Barabbas being that scapegoat that was, symbolically represented the scapegoat that was released. And Yahushua was the one that was taken and sacrificed for the sin of the people. All right, because the scapegoat would have been the one let go into the wilderness, just like Barabbas was released. And Yahushua was the one who the Lord lot fell on, sacrificed. All right. This is the book of Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 4. It says, For it is not possible that the blood of bulls and of goats should take away sin. It says, Therefore, when he cometh into the world, he said, Sacrifice and offering thou wouldest not, but a body thou hast prepared me. In burnt offerings and sacrifices for sin thou hast had no pleasure. Then said I, Lo, I come, in the volume of the book it is written of me. Leviticus chapter 16. All right, the scapegoat, one was taken and one released. The scapegoat released, but the other goat, the sacrificial one, was sacrificed for the sin of the people, which Yahushua was sacrificed for the sin of the people, and Barabbas released. Two taken, one sacrificed, one released. All right. He says, and above he said, Sacrifice and offering and burnt offering, and offering for sin thou wouldest not, neither hast thou pleasure therein, which are ordered by the law. Then said he, Lo, I come to do thy will, O Yahweh Shai. He taketh away the first, that he may establish the second. That is why we don't do no sacrifices again, because Yahweh was the ultimate sacrifice. All right. Verse 10, it says, By the which we are sanctified through the offering of the body of Yahweh Mashiach, and for all, when he was sacrificed upon the cross. All right. Because he was not only the Passover, he was also our atonement. It says, And every priest daily standing ministering and offering oft times the same sacrifices, which can never take away sins, But this man, after he had offered one sacrifice for sin forever, sat down on the right hand of Yahweh. All right? So Yahweh Shai fulfilled Leviticus 26 when he was offered upon the cross. Barabbas being the goat that was released, and Yahweh Shai being the one who the Lord's lot fell on, that was taken and sacrificed. All right? I wonder if it's here. Just let me see if I could find it. Out the camp. All right, yeah. This is Hebrews chapter 13. I start at verse 10. It says, "We have an altar whereof they have no right to eat which serve the table, for the bodies of those beasts whose blood is brought into the sanctuary by the high priest for sin are burnt without the camp." Just like he said, he shall go within the camp. All right, after he washes clothes. So the lamb was burnt outside the camp. All right, it says, "Wherefore Yahweh Shai also, that he might sanctify the people with his own blood, suffered without the gate." All right, because Golgotha is just on the outside of Jerusalem. All right, it says, "Let us go forth therefore unto him without the camp, bearing his reproach." All right, so just like the sacrificial lamb was sacrificed on the outside of the camp, Yahweh Shai also, he was sacrificed on the outside of the camp also, because he is not only the Passover, but also the atonement. All right, he's also the atonement, the propitiation for our sin. All right, this is the book of Romans chapter 5 and is it Romans chapter 5? All right, Romans chapter 5 and 7, it says, "For scarcely for a righteous man would one die, yet peradventure for a good man some would even dare to die. But Yahweh commended his love towards us, in that while we were yet sinners, Mashiach died for us. Much more then, being now justified by his blood, we shall be saved from wrath through him." And that is how, we've been delivered, because of Yahweh Shai sacrificing himself for us to be returned unto the Lord. It says, "For if, when we were enemies, we were reconciled to Yahweh by the death of his son, much more being reconciled, we shall be saved by his life." Then it says that they shall reconcile it to the temple when you go back, the sanctuary, when you go back into Leviticus 16. All right, it says, "And not only so, but we also joy in Yahweh through our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach, by whom we have now received the atonement." All right, we have now received the atonement by Yahweh Shai dying, because he's not only the Passover, he's also the atonement. And the Leviticus 16, the two goats that were taken, the sacrificed goat and the scapegoat, would have taken place during the Day of Atonement. The one that the Lord's lot fell on would have been sacrificed, Yahweh Shai, all right, which Yahweh Shai fulfilling that aspect, all right, and the other, which would have been released, which was Barabbas, all right. But the main one would have been the one which basically Yahweh Shai himself, he bared the sin of the people, all right. He bared the sin of the people, all right. He took upon him the infirmities of Israel in himself, but representing the how to put it, the two goats, for lack of a better word, that were taken, all right. Yahweh Shai was the one sacrifice, and Barabbas would have been the one released, all right. But Yahweh Shai himself was sacrificed and also bear the sin, because he said the one that released would have been the one that bear the sin of the people and released into the wilderness, just like Barabbas was released. But Yahweh Shai fulfilled it entirely, by being sacrificed and bearing the sin, all right. So he is also our atonement. All right. So with that, now it was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Abba Shemi Shai. I want to give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone that do rule well. Salutation to the men of the hopeful and saints elect. This is your brother Marcus out in Trinidad saying Shalom and stay strong. Shalom.